Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. I am your captain, James. For this evening, we are continuing with drawing every country in the world's flag. And I think we just got a couple left in Europe. And so this is the penultimate European episode. And with that said, we're going to be doing the country of Hungary. All right, so Hungary. Are you hungry? I'm hungry. No, it's pronounced Hungary. Yeah, that's what I said, Hungary. Alright, whatever. Anyways, James. We talked a little bit about the Hapsburgs, right? During my Austria episode. So kind of in the modern sort of era, Hungary is probably most known for being part of that empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. But we'll get to that, because Hungary's got a little bit going on before that. Like what, James? Well, I'm getting there. Give me a sec. So, again, it is about kind of like the gateway between Europe and Asia. And it's one of the only countries in Europe where it's outside of like the Indo-European language family. So Hungarian is kind of its own thing. So Hungary does kind of have a pretty unique history, kind of separate from a lot of like say like the Latin countries and stuff like that in Europe. Various early peoples: Celts, Romans, Huns, Germans, Slavs. The Principality of Hungary. So that's kind of where this whole shebang begins. And that's like in the late 9th century by Almos and Arpad, conquering some Carpathian peoples. King Stephen becomes king around 1000 AD, and that's when Hungary becomes a Christian country. So they were a fairly strong European power, kind of like the golden age of the Hungarian kingdom is sort of like towards the end of the Middle Ages. And then inching closer, ever so closer to modernity, Hungary has a lot of the same issues that some of its neighbors in that area, well, not neighbors, but like the Balkan countries, Bulgaria, they have some issues with the Turks. All right, so we have the rise of the Ottoman Empire, around the 16th century. So there's a long period of wars with the Ottoman Empire as they're trying to expand their influence into Europe, and this kind of results in the Kingdom of Hungary sort of going through like a partition. You kind of have three separate regions of Hungary. So you have like a royal Hungarian Empire that's loyal to the burgeoning Habsburg clan. You have the Turkish Ottoman Hungary, and then you have Transylvania, right? And you're like, wait a minute, James, I thought Transylvania was part of Romania. Well, we'll get to that, because Hungary has shrunk quite a bit over the ages, right? It's like when you put something in the dryer, comes out a little bit smaller. So Hungary does lose a lot of territory from its heyday, and the Ottomans kind of start losing influence in that area over the coming centuries. A lot of Ottoman influence is pretty much gone by the 18th century. So you have like a lot of battles between the Hapsburgs and the Ottomans, So the Hapsburgs kind of helped to regain like some European sovereignty, from them Turks. And then, because remember, Hungarian is also kind of its own thing. You do have sort of a burgeoning Hungarian nationalist movement in the 19th century. So there's some wars against the Hapsburgs, and this actually kind of results in sort of a compromise here, right? With the Hapsburgs, with the Austrian Habsburg Empire. So it was almost like a Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage mega powers handshake. They said, why are we fighting? We should be friends. So they extended the hand, shook hands, and instead of fighting, they formed an alliance. They formed the mega powers of Austria-Hungary. Right, so this is kind of where the Austro-Hungarian Empire starts, and that becomes a big power player in the European world. The Austro-Hungarian Empire, and that lasts until the early 20th century. After World War One. So World War One, Austria-Hungary is carved up, right? That's the end of the legendary Habsburg Empire. Go check out my Austria episode for a little bit more on the Habsburgs. I don't want to do too much repeating of myself here. So we talk about them there. For further information, check that episode. So Hungary starts to diminish with its borders. 1920 is pretty much when the current borders of modern Hungary take place. So they lose about 71% of their territory, right? So they do lose Transylvania to the Romanians, and they are much diminished after World War One. And when you're diminished, right, you tend to have a lot of problems, right? You have a lot of social and economic issues, kind of a loss of national pride. So Hungary enters a bit of a rough patch in between World War One and Two. You get a lot more kind of rising Hungarian nationalist movements. So they do join the Axis in World War Two, kind of in a pretty bad spot, between Europe and the Soviet Union. They do become occupied by the Soviet Union, and that's a whole nother story. So they become a Hungarian People's Republic. So they do fall to communism. So again, rough times for them Hungarians. And they said, you know what? We're gonna test the waters here. We ain't really feeling this whole communist thing. Let's see what we can do about gaining some sovereignty here. So you have a revolution in 1956, and Soviet Union says, "Oh hell no," and they pretty much get crushed. But they do gain a little bit of sovereignty. Hungary is never officially part of the Soviet Union, but they are in the Eastern Bloc there. So forced to, communism, so good, such an awesome ideology that you have to force it at gunpoint, just like all great ideologies. And Hungary, though, they do this thing called goulash communism, right? So it's still communist, but with a little bit of kind of a market, free market policies integrated into there. Very similar kind of to like the NEP under Lenin during the early Soviet period. But as communism is kind of falling, going into the 1990s, Hungary transitions into a parliamentary republic. So communism falls. They join all those European trade agreements, the EU in 2004, and then in 2010, this guy, you may have heard of him, Viktor Orban, becomes president of Hungary. And you might say, James, the news, they tell me he's one of the bad guys, right? Well, just kind of looking at the description here. Let's read what it says about the Orban regime. It says Hungary has undergone democratic backsliding, based, illiberal democracy, based, and they became a hybrid regime. I don't know what that means. They all drive Teslas there, but yeah, illiberal democracy, democratic backsliding. Those are code words, right? That the international community does not like you. So good on you, Hungary. And a lot of this has to go due to the fact that after World War II, basically, no European country is allowed to have any kind of identity whatsoever. They all must be these formless, shapeless, gray blobs of multiculturalism and all of that. And Hungary is fighting against that. So of course that makes them the most evil country on the face of the planet for daring to have national pride and all that. But that's how things work these days, right? But since communism, Hungary has rebounded fairly well. They have a high income economy. A lot of advanced education and health programs and things like that. A lot of contributions to art, music, science, all that good stuff. And they're pretty much integrated into, the European community. So with that said, what is the flag of Hungary about, James? Well, you can see it's one of them kind of boring French-influenced, tricolor flags here. 3 equal bands. The colors come from the Hungarian nationalist movements of the 18th and 19th century. So they kind of fuse like the medieval colors of the Hungarian Empire with the revolutionary tricolor pattern that the French pretty much influenced the rest of the world's flags with. And go check out my France episode for a little bit more on that. The colors stand for various things. The red is strength, white is faithfulness, and green is hope. But also, you got some more reasons here. The red, of course, the bloodshed for defense of Hungarian pride, nationalism, and land. The white is for freedom, and the green makes up the pasture lands, right? So all that good stuff that all those cows eat on the pastures, all that good old-fashioned vegetation and all that. And again, this flag's pretty boring, so you're gonna get some bonus content here. We're not gonna be in Europe too much longer, so let's go back a ways, and we're gonna draw the Hungarian coat of arms, right? So here at James Draws Everything, we are big coat of arms fans, right? We like the coat of arms. We like that a heck of a lot more than that boring Jacobin nonsense of these tricolored flags and their revolutionary spirit against tradition and beauty. And to that we say nay. We say we want the coat of arms back. So let's do that Hungarian coat of arms. And it does have a very similar design to. Oh, geez. I'm going to get to it in a second here. But I think this was the Slovenian flag, where it kind of has this cross right in here. So it's got the longer bar on the bottom, and the taller one on the top. I think it was Slovenia. Maybe it was Slovakia? Slovenia? What's in a name? Go look it up and get back to me. All right, and then it's got a crown on the top, and all sorts of rare and expensive jewels adorning the crown. Very rare, very expensive, very great. All the jewels, so good. Yeah, I'm going to oversimplify a little bit, but you get the idea. You've seen a crown before, right? Do I gotta remind you what a crown looks like? No, we're good here. Okay, so it's kind of got alternating patterns of triangles and like a rounded shape at the top. I'm just gonna bust out my bedazzler here and adorn this with some more jewels. Just bling it out, right? James adorns everything here. And we got a cool little cross at the top. Okay, and then just real quick, we'll go ahead and we'll color that in. So you got alternating patterns of red, white, red. And then this, just like whatever that country was that had this, that began with an S. White cross on a red background. And then all this good stuff, all these crowns and all that are in like a golden color. So we're just going to hit that a little bit with some gold. Cross on the top. Just bang this out as quick as we can. And let's see here. So this is kind of like a humanoid shape. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a king or something, but I kind of see like a head and shoulders there. And then these, it's sort of like etched into it in green. And then hold on, I'm still adorning here. We're still bedazzling. Got a couple things left. We got some blue jewels. And got a little bit of red. And we'll just kind of wing it with a couple more colors. It's got a pretty intricate design, but you get the gist of it, right? Right? Do I got to really do all the details? You know what a crown looks like at this scale. And yeah, let's color this in, this in a little bit more. Okay. So that is the Hungarian coat of arms, and I can explain a little bit what that is about. So on the right side is the Dexter. Well, actually, no, that's the left side, and that's the Arpad stripes. So kind of going back to the Arpad, like one of the originators of Hungary, 4 gules in red and 4 argent silver stripes, but you know, here they're white. So it represents the 4 rivers, the Danube, the Tisza, the Drava, and the Sazava. And then the Sinister, it's called the Sinister, on this side, is a double cross, an argent silver double cross on the jewels, I don't know how to pronounce that, situated inside a golden crown. They call it an or, and the crown is placed on the middle of a heap of 3 vert, which are green hills representing the Tatra, the Matra, and the Fatra. So you got 3 of them there. And it does kind of look like a dude, right? Like a dude just shrugging his shoulders up. But no, they're green hills. Then sitting up top, right, going a little bit north here to the top, is the Holy Crown of Hungary. So the king, it's the crown of King St. Stephen of Hungary. And it's actually kept in the Hungarian Parliament building in Budapest today. Is it Budapest or Budapest? I'm American, so I just pronounce things however I want to pronounce them. To me, it's Budapest. To you, it might be Budapest. But either way, it's Hungary. So that's the Hungarian coat of arms, which looks a lot cooler than the flag, right? I mean, the flag, well, yeah, there it is. There's the Hungarian flag. So thank you, France, for making my flag project so much easier. But I do not thank you for making so many boring flags and extending your Jacobin boring influence throughout the world and influencing all their flags. But I digress. So again, go check out that France episode for more information on why flags look like this today. Also, go check out that Austrian episode for a little bit more on the Hapsburgs, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And while you're checking out those, you might want to also, as you're doing that through your travels, you might want to give my videos a like. You might want to subscribe to my videos. You might want to comment on some of these videos. And most definitely, you're going to want to catch me on the next episode.